the zone system, you guys. Zone system. This is an approach that my first head of the department faculty at the first college I taught me, Michael. And he asked me, have you ever gone about doing vector art, approaching it with the zone system? And I said, I'm not sure I know what the zone system is, Michael. Because we're taught always to just go and draw from observation, look at your zones, that's not even a term we used to use. Just look for the values and indicate the values. That's what we used to do. And so I never thought about actually going about doing it with some sort of a formula to look for, as we're going to put it now, the zones. So broadside treatment here. If you guys graphic designers would know that this is turned on its side, broadside treatment. We don't ever do type vertically. High-end people don't do it that way because that's liquor store treatment. You don't want to do that. Bad association. So let's get into the zone system. What's the zone system? I've taken a photograph here of an eye bowl, and then I went and I took it into Photoshop and I did a grayscale of it, did a level adjustment where you slide the black in and you push the white and the middle value gray so that it simplifies it. And then what you do is you print this out. I printed this out and cut it out, turned it over, and I scribbled solidly a pencil over the back of this printout. Laid it down, and what ended up happening as a result of that is laid it down on a new piece of paper, and I traced this out. And my goal when I traced this out was just to trace in the black and the white. Okay? I'm only going to allow myself to design with black and white in this instance. So there's a lot of black. This is a gray. That's actually, higher value gray, but it's still gray. But I've made these design decisions that I'm going to transfer the black, what I think is going to need to be black, and then white where I need it. Okay, you got the highlight here, you got that big triangular highlight right here, and then down here I'm going to do that as white as well within a black silhouette. Okay, so let's get started on that, and you'll see that once we do this, it's the way to simplify, much the way we were talking about in the lecture about the plaquish steel, the less is more approach to doing artwork. And this is a graphic interpretation. So when you do it this way, trace out the zones, you simplify, you make an abbreviated pictorial representation of what you see in life. Whoops. I'm hopping around from PC in the high school now to Macintosh all the time, and it's kind of a drag because you get to a point where you work in one platform, you fly with your quick keys, but when you're flipping back and forth from control click to command click, and it's like hazard pay to go back and forth. I guess I could do it that way. I usually like to put a circle here and then cut it off, but keep it simple. There's the kiss method again. Keep it simple, stupid. And this is my tear duct. And close it up. Okay, that's going to be solidly black. Let's get my layer in here. Need a new layer. This is selected. There's the dot. I can move the dot up for my drawing to go to the second layer. I'm going to lock this one, name this images, and then go here and name this one black. Create a new layer and then just hit the highlights. Okay, so pencil or the pen tool. I'm going to come off the edge here. I could zoom in and do a better job of this. And remember, all that you need to be concerned about is what you're seeing inside, because I'm going to use the eye shape here to do the pathfindering and cut off the bottom so that they line up perfectly. And this is a habit that really makes for efficient, clean drawing, but also speed and not having to worry about making that many mistakes. See, I'm just coming out here and closing the shape up here, making sure that this is contouring to the drawing that I just created. I'll just leave it there. And grab the black silhouette, copy and paste on top, shift key on the new shape, and then do the pathfinder, leaving the overlapping shape, and that's it. Okay, and I want to just do this really quick. Circle, pen tool, I'm going to make this triangle, click and drag, option key, click and drag, option key, click and drag, option key, click and drag, and that's it. Let's see over here actually. How do I do this? Phooey, that's a good question. Just going to stay within the confines here. I'm not sure exactly. I'm going to guess. It's not very often that I get something that I haven't seen before. That's something I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do. Control C, Control F. Make sure it's on top. Cut it, paste it on top. Oh, it's because it's on this layer. So I'm going to drag that up here and then use this to cut the bottom part. Okay. So I'm good to go now. Let's see. Or actually, I think I just needed this line. So I'm going to do the duct and ad-lib it here. This needs to be black. Okay, so I'm good to go now. Get this letter I for the eyedropper, make that black. Pathfinder these two things together, letter V to get the black arrow again, shift click. Pathfinder together, Pathfinder's gone now, window, Pathfinder's alphabetized. Pathfinder together, layers, move this down to the black layer and marquee over the whole thing. Shift click on the black to deselect it, leaving only the green. Letter I, there's white, and that's that. Now, this piece needs to be a little bit smaller. I need it to be off the edge a little bit, so I blew that. I should have drawn that, something like this. But we can fudge it here. Close enough. So there's my eye. Okay. So once again, the zone system is you got to get an image and you go about the approach of saying to yourself, self, I'm going to draw what is black and I'm going to indicate what is white, and that's it. Okay. You print this out, you turn it over, you put graphite on the back of it, then you lay this piece of paper down face up and you trace out over the top of this drawn paper, this sketched out paper. This is on the new surface, and you're tracing over the front of the paper, which is this, and you're tracing out the black, and you're tracing out the white areas as well. And again, that's what it looks like when you result in that template, which is the zone system, and then it makes it really easy to go and trace it out. Okay, that's what you're trying to do with the zone system. It makes your life a lot easier when you go about that approach. But when you get better at it, you can add more zones, okay? I'll show you guys an example of that. Well, you guys will see an example of that with just about anything I show you from now on. Let me see if I can find something and give you a real quick look. Let's see. Yikes. Why not? Okay, zone system. So you go and you get multiple zones. You can do like this. It's easier if you look at like a facial tone, because even this is still 1, 2 zones, 3 zones, and it's all based on shadows. So you go from one zone to the next, etc. You can see this. This is an example of dark, medium, and light. And this is the zone system. To go in there and look at the facial zones, indicate them, and then transfer, and then bring in that template drawing and just trace it out, and you can do it quickly. Okay? All right.